Hello, good afternoon. Ha ha ha. I never thought I'd make it to this moment of the day. How is everyone? If you don't know me, I'm Denise Morrison, the creator of this group situation, CEO of Intuitively Unique Coaching. I combine everything: mind, body, spiritual, soul, fitness, wellness, you name it. I love to bring it to you. Okay, let's progress. Hey, Ann! Let's progress with our exercises on our back to add into what we did the other day, drawing your belly button in towards your spine or engaging your pelvic floor muscles so that you get that nice contraction. Like I said, it's got to be a gentle contraction, gentle drawing in of your pelvic floor around the tampon. Gentle drawing in of the belly button towards the spine. We're talking 30-40% effort that's stabilizing for us, that can last for a long time. And the thing I wanted to note before we move on today is to think about and feel about what's going on. If you at all catch yourself squeezing your booty or bearing down as if you're having a bowel movement, hello. If you're having that bearing down sensation, that is actually doing your abs damage and your pelvic floor, ladies. We do not want that. So everything with us is drawing up and away from gravity that drags us down. So once again, if you need another little lesson with the pelvic floor, I'd be happy to do that for you. We can talk about that a little bit more intimately in a day or so. But let's get started with these simple ab moves. And my theory with everything is that you do not have to kill yourself in order to have good abs. It's almost a theme that we see is that the more folks try to push and kill and crank their bodies, your body actually has to go through some inflammation while it's building muscle. It's breaking down. You're tearing it down so that you can build muscle. And many factors go into building muscle, whether you have the proper hydration, nutrition, sleep, stress levels. Is your anatomy correct? Are things working? So lots to think about. I'll leave that with you. You can always ask me questions later. But it can be very subtle and simple so that you have abs that are functional and sexy and flat instead of bulgy. Many times the abs will bulge more so if we do have a nice little layer of adipose tissue on the front, if our nutrition is not on point. And when you're building these muscles, you're firming them up, you're thickening them up, you've got extra blood flow to the area, you've got that inflammation going on, you feel puffier, you look puffier, your weight goes up. So less is more and control is on target. So here, let's go. Okay, so the other day we did our belly button comes into our spine, and I showed you some gentle heel slides and some knee fallout moves, okay? And then we did, what else did we do? I don't know if we did toe taps. Oh yeah, we did knees to chest, okay? So now all I'm gonna do is add on as you settle down with your breath. Allow your breathing to flow. We're not sucking in the air. We're not tightening up and in our guts. We're not bearing down. We're drawing up and in. Pelvic floor comes up and in, belly button holds. So from here, we can do opposite arm and leg. I know this is very slow, but it's a great way to get the best foundation for your core, to keep you safe before you progress and get faster and get more difficult. So what I'm doing here is I am alternating arm and leg as if you imagine me kind of walking in space. So I am in the background feeling, take a breath for a second, feeling the belly button pulling towards the spine. That muscle is contracting. I know it is because I've practiced with my fingertips. So that's on, and the pelvic floor is on. So I'm marching opposite arm and leg. And the idea is to go as long as your muscles will sustain that contraction while you move your arms and legs. And if at any time the contraction feels like it's loosening, going away, you're getting fatigued, stop and rest, restart. It's not a competition. You're your competition, so work with what you have. Okay, so opposite arm and leg can then become palms down. We can start to do knees and feet are up. Imagine that your legs are up on a tabletop of some sort, really engaging the core. We're tapping down. We're tapping down, okay? And I will model a few reps of each of these, and then you can take them and try them out. You can give me some feedback and let me know how they worked for your body or not. Everybody's got a different body. I can't see you either. So these little toe taps are just allowing me to build the stability in my core while I'm allowing my legs to move. And if you can imagine, and you'll see later, when you're walking or running in life, if your pelvic floor and core is not supporting your spine, your organs, you will have some shifting and shearing in your joints, in your back, in your SI. Okay, then of course from here you can add opposite arm and legs while the legs stay up in the air. Very easy, very simple. And I'm already feeling it. You might hear my voice start to change because I'm already feeling the strain of doing that action. Okay, I'll stop there. So I'm getting a little bit harder each time, progressing. Now, let's do some more advanced. And the way I do this is I place my palms just underneath my booties, and you can bring the neck and head up if you like or not. But the idea is that you imagine you're squeezing your neck into a ball, okay, so that your chin's not jutting towards the sky. You're tucking in down into like a ball, but then you're still looking upwards. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to just alternate legs. Alternate. And if that's too much with the head up, you can go back to the taps. Or if you want to start adding more. Now, I'm paying extra special attention to my belly button pulled into my spine. I'm engaging my pelvic floor muscles, so I might not do as many. And that's okay. Many times we do over and above and overtrain and miss the mark, and our muscles are not even working for us, and we struggle and we push, and then before we know it, we're in trouble and we have pain because we've missed the subtleties of the body. And down. And I'm going to rest my head and my feet for a second. So that's your next progression. So as you can see, you've got the stable base, and then you're adding leg movements, you're adding arm movements, arm and leg movements. Okay, here comes another goodie. So I'm going to bring my legs up. I've got my palms underneath my booties. I'm going to keep my head down for a moment, but I'm going to lower opposite legs one at a time slowly. And now I've been practicing these moves for a long time. I've been a physio. So the idea is that you maintain that control so that you are not feeling any rocking, twisting, and less is more. Full leg lifts, drawing in the pelvic floor. Hello, support. Pumping up your heart rate. Okay? And of course you can go slower or faster. Listen to your body, please. You can also add to that by bringing your head up and tucking that chin. And you can alternate legs a little more. So much to do. And the key with any of these leg lifts, right away, if you start to feel it in your hip flexors here and your quads, your back is getting tired and you should stop. Because you're substituting with the very strong and powerful reactive hip flexor muscles when that will start to cause damage to your spine, changes in your position if they get overworked and too tight. And the goal here is to get your core stabilizing you, and your legs are kind of just going along for the ride. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Alrighty, now another favorite one. The Pilates Moves. Much of the work that physios do, physical therapists do, incorporates Pilates anyway, and it was set up for the dancers and so on and so forth. And They just have amazing bodies. That's not me. So, but the simple things that you can do at home without getting on one of those contraptions, that's another story. You can start to do the hundreds at home. So obviously this is a progression, and what's happening is you're really engaging your belly and your core. You're engaging your thigh muscles. You're pushing out through your toes. And now I'm looking at my knees, and you pulse and pulse and pulse, pulse and pulse and pulse. And they call this the hundreds. I'm not going to do 100. I'm just going to show you now. And I do not like this one because it starts to hurt my neck and my back. But I wanted to show you, if you do not have any of those issues, that this is damn fine to get your abs fired up. Woo. Okay. And then I'm going to stop that. Let me see what my cheat sheet says. Okay, another ones from Pilates is knee tucks, which I like because they kind of mimic moving around in life when you're standing up. So you can have the head down at first. So what's going to happen is you're just going to tuck one knee in at a time, okay? I have to get my coordination. So tuck in around the hands. So you're getting a double whammy. Legs are getting long. You're engaging the upper abs, lower abs, even though that's a misnomer. We don't have upper, middle, lower abs. We have superficial to deep abs, which means as you peel layers away, they go deeper. Pulse and pulse. So I'm pulsing with my hands, bringing my knee to my chest. Pulse and bring it, and pulse and bring it. And in Pilates and yoga, and of course any exercises, please always exhale as you strain. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Man, this series, I've already been going, I don't know how many minutes, but I'm feeling it in my abs. Okay, let's take it to our tummies now. So, once again, this is a fabulous way to work your core because everything spills down. Gravity is allowing your belly to just flop open. So, having your stable base with your palms spread open wide, knees underneath the hips supporting you, everything's in nice alignment. Your spine is as long as it can be with your chin drawn in and your head facing away from your sacrum, one long line. So one awesome way to practice here is your belly's flop down. Here's my belly. And then you're drawing it up and in away from the floor. So the belly hangs down towards the floor. Draw it up and in. Down. Draw it up and in. And you can repeat that for 10 to 15 reps. Nice and slow and controlled. Draw it up and in. And down. So you will feel how easy it is to sense this in this position before we move on. So obviously we want to be able to do that repetitively, and we also want to be able to do it and bring it up and in and hold for that 30-40% effort. And from here, this is where you do your alternating arms and legs. We'll start with the legs first. So the belly button is drawn in, and then you're extending through one leg and back. Extending through the other leg and back. And as you can see, I'm walking slowly because my goal is to keep that core engagement and not allow my spine, my pelvis to wiggle back and forth and not jar any of my joints, but to teach it to stay in its place and hold and support. That's what our deeper abdominal muscles do. They're like a bracing system. As you see people who've injured their back, perhaps they wear those braces on the outside. This is how you build deep internal strength and control. Okay, so I've walked it out with my legs. Of course, you can add just the arms to really start to engage the upper aspects of your spine. You're still drawing in your belly button, still pulling in your pelvic floor, of course. And you're just reaching and stabilizing. Feel free to do 10 to 15 reps on each side. Okay, and then of course you can add movement. You can walk opposite arm and leg, like so. Or you can stay and go out, hold, and back and under. And you start to get more of a little crunch kind of happening. Even though I don't like the word crunch because that kind of sounds like we're really damaging and hurting things. But we could draw the abdominals in as you bring your knee and your hand towards one another. And you could stay on one side, or you can alternate sides depending on your anatomy, your knees, your other hand. I'm going to switch sides quicker so you can see. So I go out and I draw it in. I go out and I draw it in. So many options. Find the ones that work for you and start doing them daily. And then when you're ready for more, add on more. And here. Okay. Just shaking that out, shaking it out. So, this leads us to, of course, the plank. So, you're already starting to do some form of plank by drawing in the belly button towards the spine, and you're already there. So now we start to build up our arms and legs. You just start to slide your knees away, and then you come into that nice long line as if you just lay down a little bit, but I've got my power through my arms. I've got my belly button in towards my spine, and just being able to hold this for 2 minutes, sing some songs in your head, breathe. I'm squeezing my butt cheeks together, my toes are pointing down firmly into the ground, and my palms are wide. So you're engaging your abs here. It doesn't have to be tricky. You can get your neck muscles working too, chin down towards the chest. You can add a little bit for shoulder girdles, going down and in if you feel so. Woohoo! Whoa. I'm getting a bit shaky. Okay, so here, obviously you can go into a full plank. You can start with one leg and stay here for the 2 minutes. Switch knees after 2 minutes or how many seconds you can hold, okay? You're your best gauge. You're competing with yourself. And then of course you can tuck your toes under and come up into a plank. And as you progress to this level, your belly button is strongly pulled in towards your spine, supporting you as everything is pushing off the ground and holding you up. And the gold standard is 2 minutes, so if you'd like to aim for that, go for it. If not, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. If your wrists are killing you like mine are, you can stop. Okay, you can cheat by opening your legs really wide or your arms really wide. Make it work for you. Be proud of yourself for what you've got to do at this moment in time. Okay, and then the other option, you can come down onto your forearms, which I love because it builds up my shoulder girdle strength. Being a former tennis player, suffering injuries, I love this because it supports my shoulder girdle. Okay, I'm gonna let go. Alrighty, next, I gotta move my camera and you're coming up with me. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Please don't fall on the ground. Okay. Oh, poo. Hope you can see me. Alrighty. Let me take a little drink first. Gotta get my Energize mixed up so I can stay awake for the rest of the day. Alrighty, now my favorites. I think you've seen these before, Laverne. Man, I gotta get far away. Hold on a second. This camera situation is new to me, so here we go. I gotta do some home renovations so I could show you. There we go. Alrighty, so working your abs, working your core when you're standing, when you're walking, when you're doing chores. I love it. There we go. Okay, so back to the bellies, people. Standing up in life, in your mountain pose. You find your belly button. You find your proper alignment. When you're standing up and gravity's weighing down on you, ladies, just imagine pulling up and in your pelvic floor. Feel that drawing up and in to prevent any wind or wee coming out, and automatically it just helps draw and support your deeper core pelvic floor. So you've got that going for you in the background. You can also bring your belly button into your spine. Your belly comes away from your waistband, okay? So if I look flopped out, flop out, and I draw myself back in. So I do these kind of all day long in when I'm standing and when I remember. So when I'm doing chores or bending down or reaching, I engage my belly button towards my spine. This is what saves me as a physical therapist all these years and stops any aggravation of my spine, so feel free to use it. Okay, so you've got that going on for you. Guess what? You can do one knee lift at a time. Hands on the hips, so you can put your hands wide. And just like we did on our backs, you're calling in the core to work for you and bringing that knee up towards your belly button as high as it can go. Whoops, lost my balance there. So you're getting a 2-for-1, core and balance. Alrighty. And if you do any running, walking, jogging, super important. You can take care of your core while you're doing all that just by engaging your own anatomy and using your internal supportive brace that you have built in. Okay? And notice you may start to feel it in your back because where the transverse abdominis wraps around, you will feel it there too. Okay, wiggle that out. Obviously, next you can add like oblique crunches in the standing position. So I've got my opposite arm and elbow working towards my opposite knee. If you have balance issues, grab a wall, do one piece at a time, and go in and in. And you can take it this slowly until you gain the strength and the endurance of your core. And that is what comes first and foremost before you build those sexy abs. But that, my friends, comes with kitchen management and what you put into your mouth and how much stress you have in your life. So that's another topic. So you can work all damn day on your abs, but if your nutrition is not clean, you'll be wearing it. Anyway, hot topics. Okay, so obviously you can go faster, you can go slower, but I'm kind of doing bicycles standing up, which I love. Okay? And then relax a second. Now, of course, you can hold weights in your hands when you do these. I'd only use about 3 to 5 pounds just so that I don't aggravate my shoulder girdle and my neck. My next favorite ones are just simply side bends. And the idea with the side bend is as you go down, slide your hand down one side, the opposite obliques pull you up and pull back. So I'm still engaging my pelvic floor, even though you can't see me doing it. It's supporting my undercarriage. So as I said, maybe yesterday, when you're learning a new move, you're learning a new skill. It's natural to get frustrated, for it not to feel right, to get out of breath, to not be able to do as much as you'd like to do because your brain consciously and unconsciously has to get the hang of it. The brain has to tell the body how to move, when and what timing. So much is involved to creating a new habit. So in the beginning, it just takes a little bit more time. I'm going to switch to the other side and then over. So as you can see, I'm not moving my feet anywhere. I'm doing a simple movement within my range of motion. Yours may be a bit further than mine. Yours might not be as much. That's okay. Use what you have. Okay, so I could do these all dang day. But I wanted to come down and show you some more Pilates, the C curve moves. Okay? So for a simple mat class, what I do with my Pilates instructor friend, I'll show you from the side in a minute, but I'm keeping my heels tucked into the ground. My knees are bent, and the idea here is to please keep your hip flexors soft. We talked about those before. If you find that they're starting to steal up on you and ache, quit. Drop your legs down, rest, take a break, because it takes a lot of control through your abs in order to do this properly. So I'm just gonna hold my fingers clasped together, and I'm gonna curl back into a C and come up. Curl back and come up. So let me show you from the side what that looks like. So I'm supporting myself. These are off as much as possible. I'm just drawing my belly, tucking my pubic bone towards my sternum and coming up and back. So for those of you titanium warriors in my group, be careful. This might not be for you, okay? In any way, if you feel anything sharp or shooting, or your brain just going, nuh-uh, skip this, go back to the other easy ones. So you're curling in and you're coming up. So you can get more extravagant, lifting up and out. Like I said before, 10 to 15 reps. Start with that, see how you feel. Add another set, 10 to 15 reps. It's all good. Okay, then we can get wild and do some rotations. Rotate and come up. Rotate and come up. Pelvic floor, still talking to that part of my body. Belly button is still drawing in, and I'm going at a decent pace to be able to stabilize and not shift all around in my back. Okay, so nice little rotations there. And one more. And I'm gonna relax because my hip flexors are starting to talk and substitute, and I don't want that. So if you wanna take a little bridge, heart opening, glutes, squeeze up, open up your hip flexor and your abs, you can surely come up to this tabletop position to ease up everything. And let's do one more. Okay, the other one are knee tucks. Oh, let's do two more. Knee tucks. So sorry. Get back into your curve. Stay down, drawing everything back and in. Suck that up inside. Knee tucks again. In this position, tuck. So you're crunching. I should say flexing, drawing together. Ooh, crunching sounds so awful, like rocks in my mouth or my teeth. The words we use say a lot about how we feel about ourselves and our bodies. And that's a talk for another day. So, knee crunches. I'm just supporting myself on my butt bones. You all know what those butt bones are. And one more. And rest. Man, this is good. I'm getting a nice workout in before my other workout. Okay, last one. Once again, you can use weights in your hands with any of these. I'm showing you how you can do it, still sweat, still get your heart rate up and work your muscles without any weights. Let's do a little rowing. So if I was to have my weight, or you can have your palms interlaced again, you're just gonna come back into that curve once again and row and row. My hands just separated. This feels a little better to me. And of course, the further away your feet are and the further away your hands are, it's more challenging to your core to stabilize you. So if you need to bring it closer back together, stay towards midline, towards the center, it'll be easier for your core muscles to work for you. Whew. Whew. So we're rowing our boats. Okay, I hope that gives you a nice start, something to go with, and less is more. Control, get your brain and your body working together, talk to your parts, If you feel sore later, I'm not surprised. But if you have any aches or pains or something odd, please stop. If you want to ask me about it or chat about it, I can see if I can strategize with you what perhaps wasn't working for you, and we can find something else. But I am going to get my workout on. I need my workout to keep my sanity today. So thank you all for popping in and checking me out, and I'll see how the group rolls out for maybe 1 or 2 more days before I pack up and head to New Jersey to see my family. So it's been my pleasure helping you, and if you see anything else that you want me to try or explain, I'll do it to the best of my abilities. So have a wonderful Thursday, or into the evening for my friends far, far away across the pond. Hey girl, see ya.